A beautiful Saturday afternoon in Spokane, and it's going to be an emotional day inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's senior day for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, but it's going to be competitive against the San Francisco Dons. Here's a look at the West Coast Conference standings. 3 games to go in the regular season, and the Zags are still just 1 game up on those pesky Portland Pilots. And for the final time this year, we welcome you back inside the kennel. Alongside the great John Billings, I'm Greg Talbot. Last time Gonzaga played USF, the Dons beat them down in San Francisco. John, how can the Dons derail the Zags again today?
You know, it's senior night or day for the noon tip-off, and there's a lot of excitement, but there's a legit basketball game about to happen here. 15 points. That was the difference that San Francisco knocked off GU down in California. So there's a lot to play for, some matchup challenges. Gonzaga's got to get through the emotions and win this key game if they're going to win the WCC.
So, again, USF beat the Zags about 6 weeks ago down in San Francisco, but this is a very different USF Dons team. Deborah Dos Santos was a walking double-double, one of the best players in the WCC. She went down with a season-ending injury, so we won't see her tonight, but Freya Worth has stepped into her place as the main scorer. She's been great, 16 points a game.
Yeah, and when San Francisco is playing well, they've got 4 or 5 players getting into the scoring act. Liche is a great point guard. She's going to get others involved. Trawali Porta scored 18 in that victory over Gonzaga. So it's not just about stopping one player. You're never going to replace one big injury like Dos Santos. As
for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, there's a different starting lineup out there with Senior Day. Esther Little, Mount Hybens, Taylor Dalton, Avon Ejim, and Bree Salenbine. So that's going to be nice for the emotion on the floor. However, there is no point guard out there, John.
The seniors deserve it, right? Coach Fortier going with that. You love to see that, but it will be a challenge, and there's going to be a lot of emotion at the start of this game. You're really just looking to get to that first timeout, take an exhale, maybe get some subs and get your normal lineups in there, but you still have stars power out there. This is not the scrubs coming off the bench, without question, a big-time starting lineup.
There's Lisa Fortier, 11 seasons at the helm. What an incredible story this year has been for her and her family and her recovery and now remission from breast cancer. On Senior Day, it's seniors out there for the Bulldogs, a much taller team to begin this game on the floor than these USF Dons who began the conference season with a 5-0 record. Bree Salenbine for 3. Just a bit long, tries to chase down her own board. Loose ball, and here comes Aya Kiata. For the USF Dons, no. Ejim pulls down the rebound, and we're going to push and run to start this game. Taylor Dalton rejected underneath. Not really USF's MO this year to be blocking, but a up-tempo start to this game, and we'll finally settle down 45 seconds in.
Without a point guard, there's really no reason to slow things down. Anybody who grabs that rebound can bring it up. So get out in transition. Gonzaga getting a good chance before the defensive rotation stopped the last one.
Cami Fulcher, the senior out of West Lynn, Oregon, hits it to put USF on the board. The question for the Bulldogs, John, is how long are they going to keep this lineup out here?
Usually it's to the first time out, but let's see. I mean, we've got players with experience. You're not worried about anybody. There's really no one in this lineup.
Hybens doubled, and they'll reset here.
There's nobody in the lineup who is a big foul gets called or gets right past there. There's nobody out here who's usually a bench warmer, right? There's nobody end of the bench, just kind of that heartfelt start. These all are players that have seen significant minutes this year.
That was a foul on the pass headed to Avon Ejim. That'll be on Freya Worth. Again, she's their best player. Early foul, bad news for the Dons.
Something to keep an eye. They don't have the same kind of depth that Gonzaga has. Foul trouble could be a big issue.
Ejim, triple or quadruple teamed. They'll wave that off, and they'll give her a travel.
Yeah, just lost her footing a little bit. She does such a great job getting to that left hand. That time lost her feet.
Well, Gonzaga playing some full-court defense. That is something they rarely do, and if they do it later in games. A team that's known for that across the WCC this year is more the Portland Pilots, who have been there all year. Worth around and in.
Yeah, we talked about her scoring presence. She can shoot it. Missed on the 3 early on, but that went off the dribble.
This Gonzaga team's offense consistently number 2 in the West Coast Conference this year. 44% high efficiency. Saved by Taylor Dalton by the skin of her teeth. Ejim. Around and in, or is that out of bounds? The referees are conferring.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to count that.
They're not going to give it to her. That's out of bounds.
That's a great horse shot, and it was a foul, so she'll get a chance to go to the line as long as they called it in the act.
Okay, that's pretty funny, actually.
So, you know, the first few minutes of a game like this, Greg, you're really, with senior night and all that kind of thing, you're really looking to just stay tight. All right, in the last few games, Gonzaga's had a tough start anyway, so it's just about not getting behind, not having a big deficit that you have to overcome. If they can stay close and then get that exhale and then start to kind of pull together their normal game, they're going to be in good shape.
Yvonne Ejim gives the Zags their first point of the day, the leading scorer and rebounder in the West Coast Conference this year. She has had a season to remember, including 20 against the Dons last time they played.
I love that three-quarter court pressure. Because of Gonzaga's length, they can force a turnover.
Salenbine to Hybins.
And we said they don't really have guards out there, but with that length, you might as well take advantage. Passing lanes are going to be tough to come by for the Dons.
Dalton draws traffic. Little won't shoot from there. Into Ejim, and not Esther's best pass for a gal who's been an awfully good passer this year. Now, John, that has been a problem for Gonzaga. Almost 500 turnovers coming into this game. It's an issue they have not really sorted out as we head toward the postseason.
It was a bad issue last game against St. Mary's. I think there were 13 turnovers in the first half alone. Coaching staff working on that constantly and just basically saying it's kind of lack of focus.
And they find Freya Worth again for USF. 4 of their first 7 points. Clearly they want the offense to run through her.
Yeah, she's catching it too easily. She's getting space where she can get to her shots instead of having to be bumped off or dribble to her positions. Gonzaga's just got to make it harder for her to catch.
Salenbine.
That was deep.
From nearly the logo, Ejim had that one on the fingers, but this is off USF. And the Zags will bring in Allie Turner and Claire O'Connor off the bench. Dalton and Salenbine will go back. So here are the traditional guards to start the game.
Yeah, now things change because you got three-point shooting across the wings, and you have a little bit more ball handling to get you into your sets where you want.
O'Connor off the inbound. Allie Turner into Ejim. Pops. Vonnie can't get it. Still not a field goal down for Gonzaga. 3.5 minutes into this game. Good transition. Chirali Porta up around and in. A 9-1 start for USF. What is happening out here, John?
A little look from Coach Fortier up at the clock to say, is it too early for me to call a timeout? Because you don't like to get beat in break like that.
Hybins rejected. Chirali Porta couldn't get it. And a second chance. Hybins again. Great pass. O'Connor. 3. No. Worth and Ejim hit the deck. And that foul will be
that's a big one. Is they're going to call that on
that's
Worth.
That's on Worth. Now that's number 2 already, John, on their best player 4 minutes into this game.
Yeah, and you see her what she can do on offense, but she's going to really have to work against Ejim. Talking to coaching staff before the game, the whole goal is to stop Ejim. But every team says that. It's easier said than done.
Best of luck.
It's going to take a group, right? Not one player is going to do it, but when your best player is picking up fouls, it's going to hurt them on offense.
Hybins getting a lot of touches to start this game. Allie Turner gives the Bulldogs their first field goal from the corner. The best three-point shooter in the West Coast Conference, top 10 in women's college hoops. All as a true freshman. It has been a privilege to watch her in this building this year.
Yeah, Coach Fortier gets the credit on that one. A nice out-of-bounds play to get it to your shooter. Right off the inbound, it's harder to guard. She comes in and knocks it down.
Great pass from Leachy. Paparonis had a look. Now Chirali Porta down the lane off the bottom of the backboard. Zags a chance to turn this into points now on the other end, coming off their first bucket. O'Connor, 3, you bet.
Great ball movement. Starts on the left, gets down to the right. Anytime you can make the defense take a step down toward the post and then rotate it around, you're going to find an open shooter.
And that is something Claire O'Connor is so good at, coming off the bench, drilling a 3 and getting the offense right back into it.
Totally different vibe now as Gonzaga's the attacking team rather than waiting for the Dons to come at them.
Down the lane, Fulcher. Tipped away by O'Connor. And the Zags have the energy, and here they come. Allie Turner made space, pulls back.
You can see how much they sag when Ejim posts up right there. 4 Dons in the paint, ready to collapse. The shooters are going to have chances today. That's going to be the key.
Ziaka tipped that one out of bounds. It'll be Bulldog ball on the other side of the break as the Zags are finally awake. First timeout of this game in the first quarter. Don's doing their best to end Gonzaga's 14-game winning streak today. Look at that offense. They've been on a tear since that loss to Oregon State in overtime, John.
Yeah, the big one that jumps out to me is defense, right? Since they've turned the corner and started really locking down, they're starting to gain advantages on the defensive end, and that's helping them with all these tight wins they've had.
But USF a chance to break that winning streak today because out of the gate they're shooting 67% from the field. Outrageous efficiency. Here's Yvonne Ejim, who travels. Second time they've gotten her for that in these first 6 minutes.
It was close. I can understand why they said that. I thought it was perfect footsteps, and really that's what makes her so good in the post is her footwork and being able to get an angle. That time, maybe a little bit too much, but that's a 50-50 call.
USF has made 4 of their last 5 shots. Offensive foul off the ball.
Greg, do you believe in makeup calls?
I'm starting to.
As a former player, I've seen it just so many times that maybe questionable, maybe it comes back to you. That's why I help old ladies across the street as often as I can.
Tipped away. Here comes Freya Worth. Rejected by Bree Salenbine. A block party today in the kennel. Dalton to O'Connor. Zags keeping the energy up on the possession. Gonzaga has not led in this game. They have not tied since 0-0.
Look at how deep she's catching it there. Impossible to stop it when she catches the ball literally underneath the hoop.
Defensive foul as the pass was on its way into Yvonne Ejim.
For those that haven't seen Ejim play before, which probably nobody watching this broadcast falls into that boat.
I would think so.
Huge block on from Salenbine there in recovery. And she had a look on her face coming back like she meant it. But Ejim is not incredible just because of the shot as Salenbine scores there. It's because of the work she does before she gets the ball. That's what makes her so difficult to stop on the post.
Bree Salenbine ties it for the Bulldogs. She has shown flashes of real confidence recently since she's gotten back from her injury. Ziaka gets it right back for USF. The true freshman from Greece on a team that is so heavy with seniors this year. Salenbine up and under. She got it. 4 straight points.
If GU makes a run late into March, it's because of Salenbine. She's so talented. Her career has been really derailed with the knee injuries, but you see glimpses of the skills that made her a massive recruit out of high school.
See her chasing down the board there. Leachy can't get it for USF. Worth recovers. Back up she goes, and Dalton has it. The other way now for the St. Mary's transfer, Taylor Dalton.
Ejim caught a piece, got a block on that last one. See how she does with a much taller defender. Steps out.
Vonnie gives the Bulldogs their first lead of this game as we approach the end of the first quarter.
If she's got somebody small, she's going to back them in. If they're big, she's going to step out and hit the jumper.
Ejim on the rebound, and now Allie Turner hasn't scored since she hit that big 3 coming in off the bench. Speaking of threes, Claire O'Connor can't get it, and there's Ziaka to recover.
I don't think we're going to need a shot clock here today, Greg. Everybody just coming in, seeing their shots confidently both ways. San Francisco is definitely focusing on running as well.
Yeah, this is the exact opposite of a couple other teams in the West Coast Conference, notably like the Portland Pilots, second place in the conference, who love to play that half-court offense. Yvonne Ejim, no, and Zinabu Chom with the board, the 6'6" grad student. She's a game changer to have out there. Pretty amazing. Freya Worth is still in there with those 2 early fouls, but they know they can't win without her.
Yeah, and she immediately got on that fast break. Salenbine denied her, but it was almost like the second she got back in the game, she got on the scoring sheet.
Leachy up and over, no. And O'Connor the board. Claire has been everywhere since coming in off the bench.
You can see the confidence this team has in playing their bench. You've got 7, 8 deep, and all are getting consistent minutes, makes them tough to beat, and later in the game that'll pay off too with the fatigue factor.
Just a little bit hard from Allie Turner. And for the first time in this game, it looks like USF actually wants to take this possession slowly. They are one of the lowest efficiency offenses in the West Coast Conference, 38% shooting, but today they're up around 50 because of this start.
That's why Coach Goodenbauer wants to run. When you can't get easy looks in your offense, try to get some cheap ones on the fast break.
Freya Worth with a turnaround no. And the Zags will take it now with under a minute to go in the first quarter. Claire O'Connor, wide open look. What happened there?
Yeah, just a mistimed pass along. They keep switching back and forth between the matchup and the zone, and I wonder if they were caught in between mines there.
Freya Worth fired it up. Chom on the rebound, and she gets fouled on the way up. How about the pace of this game, John?
Yeah, not that surprising for Gonzaga. They know that when they get an open look, they want to take it. But San Francisco, I think, intentionally trying to do this.
Finally a breather for everybody. Couple new subs in for each team.
It really favors San Francisco early because they're going to get easier looks than they might get if the Gonzaga defense gets set. But for Gonzaga, with their depth, if they run all day, the fourth quarter is going to be a different story. I don't think Coach Fortier will have a problem with some of the running, although no coach likes to see an easy fast break or a defensive player not getting back.
30 seconds to play in the first, and USF sends Trawali Porta back on. And Ines Betancourt, who began the year as the Zags starting point guard, in to run point at the end of the first.
Love the play from Coach Fortier, getting Ejim some rest at the end here. You can steal 5 or 6 minutes of actual time of rest.
Maud Hybens in traffic. Big points for the Bulldogs. Back to a 2-point lead. No shot clock and 10 of the quarter for USF. It's Leachy. On Betancourt. One to shoot. Went up with it. No foul. Second chance won't go. And that's the end of the first quarter. We said it would be competitive, and boy has it been. USF led for most of that first, and after 10 minutes, the Bulldogs only lead USF by 2. Back in Spokane to begin the second quarter between Gonzaga and USF on GU's senior day. 17-15 at the end of the first 10 minutes, mainly John Billings, because USF started red hot and then is 2 for their last 10. Gonzaga's defense really locked down.
Yeah, a little different starting lineup for Gonzaga because of senior day, and you talk a lot about the offense usually, but sometimes it's defense rotations. When you have a different lineup, people are playing guard spots when they're used to rotating from maybe a 3 or 4 position. Probably the likelihood, and now Gonzaga back to their normal lineup. A little better defense the last 5-6 minutes of that quarter.
USF began this game shooting 67% as a team. Cami Fulcher hits in the mid-range. Their mid-range shooting is really impressive.
Nice recognition by Fulcher. Gonzaga coming out, switching the defense up into the zone to start the quarter, and she found the nice little gap in between that low and high spots of the zone.
Nearly turned over again. And this will be USF ball.
Yeah,
John,
nice,
how much?
Just a nice duck in here real quick, Greg. Yeah, Fulcher stepping in, bailing out the post and finding a gap as the defense collapsed.
How much of a problem are the turnovers going to be by the time they get to Vegas and beyond for the NCAA tournament?
Well, you know, it's kind of the eye test that I would trust a little more than the stat. Sometimes the turnover is really worse than other times. There's an offensive foul on that screen, just stepping a little too far out to the right was Emma Trawali Porta. A turnover that leads to a fast break and a quick bucket, really bad. A turnover that deflects and goes out, or maybe a miscommunication, those things are going to happen. So sometimes coaches even chart turnovers differently, and there's good turnovers, if you could have that, and really bad ones. So that's what you're looking for. You want clean possessions, but you really don't want runouts.
Maud Hybens misses it, but that was an excellent interior pass by Ines Betancourt, flashing what we know she can do, as that's off from Ziaka. Foul on the come down on Gonzaga. Referee's not afraid to call the fouls to begin this quarter here. Now that's one on both teams. As Maud Hybens goes to the bench, and that's on Ines Betancourt. And USF will send Zainabu Cham back on. By far the tallest player on the floor. They're a different team with her out there.
Yeah, and I think that was in response to Ejim coming back in the game. They want to make sure they've got her on Ejim so that Worth doesn't have to guard her.
Ziaka, not afraid to pull offensively. Marina Hernandez off the bench just long, and Betancourt weaving through traffic.
We'll see if Gonzaga, the high pick and roll, pulls the bigger defender away, see if he can recover back, and there's going to be gaps.
Zags looking for passing lanes. Ejim doubled, back for Turner. 10 to shoot. Dalton, up and under, no. Dalton, 3 to shoot. Up and over, no, and Cham pulls it down. Could have done a couple things differently on that possession.
Cham is affecting the game, though.
Worth hits. 7 early points for their leading scorer to go along with 2 early fouls. They're not taking her out, not in her life.
Yeah, let's see if Gonzaga gets back to that high screen and roll again and gets Cham away from the hoop.
Allie Turner, the step back 3, the true freshman's specialty, a top 10 3-point shooter in women's college hoops.
At this point of the season, freshmen are certainly experienced enough, but she has poise well beyond her year.
As we have come to the end of the regular season, John, is she the best true freshman Gonzaga has had since Courtney Vandersloot?
There's been some really good players coming in, and injuries and different things happen that derail the trajectory, but she has scored and created in a way that most point guards as a freshman don't.
Up and under, Esther Little, no.
I sidestepped your question there, Greg.
That's all right.
I don't know. She's been really good. She certainly deserves that credit. Be talked about in the same echelon or even just the same sentence as Courtney Vandersloot, that's a compliment in itself.
Certainly the best true freshman shooter since Courtney Vandersloot, and a little after that, Heather Bowman.
Yeah, but I don't think they've maybe had some shooters, but not ones that can also run the point and create their own shot. That's the difference maker.
It has been a miraculous experience to watch her in this building come out as a fully formed product. The last time we had seen on the men's or women's side a player like that come out so fully formed at the point guard position, as that's a turnover, right? Must be Jalen Suggs. You go back further than that, you're probably talking about a Kevin Pangos on the men's or women's side. They don't usually come out so fully formed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what she'll do if she sticks around for 4 full years, because she hit the ground running. Gonzaga needs to sometimes find a way for her to get some hoops easier, because she's having to earn them pretty hard. But when she does, she can.
Fulcher had a look. Ziaka short again. Up and over from Cham, won't go. And Betancourt the board. Good offensive rebound possession for the Dawns. Other way, Salenbine too hard off the glass. And Worth aggressively with the elbows, taking it away and bringing it the other direction.
Yeah, Betancourt missed that pass. She found it in the end, but it was a step too late, made it hard finish.
Cham couldn't get it, and Ejim the other way now. Betancourt for 3. No. Second chance off the Salenbine board. How about Claire O'Connor? Got it that time.
I love the rotation she gets on her shot. It's like crystal clear perfection when it comes to snapping the wrist. I mean, it's really, if you're going to teach a kid how to shoot, watch her. She gets her hands up, her elbows high, and then snaps the wrist.
Zags 44% to start this game from 3. They're 4 for 9. Top 23-point shooting team in the women's college game this year. Tipped away by Cammie Fulcher, the senior. And now Ziaka. We're going to see some subs in the second half. These teams are going to get tired playing like this.
Yeah, they're running. Gonzaga loves to do that. They love to find Ejim quickly in the break, especially Cham's not going to be able to keep up with her.
Salenbine looks a little tired. Allie Turner does not for 3. And USF wants a timeout after 3s on back-to-back possessions from Gonzaga. That's a 9-0 run for the Bulldogs.
That lineup, anybody can get the rebound and start the break, so then it allows Turner not to have to be the distributor. She can be the finisher.
Allie Turner, 3 for 3 from downtown to begin this game. This team is not... Gonzaga leading USF by 6 midway through the second quarter, and it's been because of the 3-point shooting. 5 for 10 from beyond the arc. Allie Turner, a perfect 3 for 3.
Ejim draws so much attention inside, and the San Francisco has sagged, and then the threes have been open. And that's really the key to tonight's game is if Gonzaga gets wide open threes, can they knock them down? Thus far they have.
Tipped away by McKinley Dalen, and now Claire O'Connor the other way. Both of these teams are going to enjoy the halftime break. The up and down pace has been exhausting just to watch. Mott Hybins. Well, that would have been a heat check for this team. Tied up. And Gonzaga ball. Look at that aggression.
Yeah, clever play from Saiban, or from O'Connor there in the corner to stay up on her player and just make a tight rebound turn into something more. Gonzaga's got a lot of pretty good length. When you look at their guards, they're bigger than most in the WCC, and they can guard so many positions. They switch just about every screen.
Ziaka tipped that one away. For a true freshman, she is so aggressive out there. She's fun to watch.
Yeah, she gets after it. This was definitely off Gonzaga. Tipped last by Turner, but the referees didn't see it. Catching a break here.
Not that they need one. Bulldogs on a 9-0 run. USF, meanwhile, has not scored on coming up in 3.5 minutes. Three-pointers have made all the difference. Turner for Hybins. Dalen, what a move. Oh, how about that spin?
Great duck in. Again, she did her work early, got good position, and then that first pivot step was a large one, which gets a different angle. She can put it off the glass.
Now an 11-0 run for Gonzaga. Perimeter work is not going to work here for USF. They've been much better in transition. Papa Rowans fouled. USF will take this one. Well, at the very least, they're looking to get points however they can get them, and that would include getting fouled and going to the free throw line if that's what it takes.
Yeah, and some good free throw shooting on this team, 81% last time out, 11 for 11 across 3 players. So they definitely want to get to the line and get some freebies.
But they won't get it here. Inbound to Ziaka, who has been so aggressive. Worth, speaking of aggression. Ziaka going to work, spinning, gave it up. Hybins tied up with Fulcher, and this one will stay with USF. They're just as aggressive as the Bulldogs today.
Yeah, coaching adjustment from Fortier is that they're not going to duck off of Worth. If you're guarding Worth like O'Connor was there, she's going to stay on her and make sure that she doesn't get that kick out for the open jumper. So the opportunity for the Dons will be with the other 4 players, getting a little more space if they can drive and score. But right now, Gonzaga, man-to-man defense has been solid.
Leachy to inbound for USF, 9 on the shot clock. Into Worth. Does draw the foul. This for them will likely end their now 4-minute and 8-second scoring drought from the field.
This was similar to what happened against St. Mary's. St. Mary's was kind of controlling the game. It was really sloppy in that first quarter, the last time out on Thursday for Gonzaga. And it was about this point of the game, whether it was wearing the opponent out or just making a couple adjustments and calming down, Gonzaga got the lead. And same thing tonight. It sort of looked like San Francisco was in control. GU made a couple tweaks, got a couple threes to fall down. This is big for Worth and San Francisco to stem that tide.
Freya Worth, 9 of their 22 points. That is not going to be sustainable for this team. Ejim, after a nice break on the bench. Claire O'Connor getting aggressive. Back for Vani against Chom. Up and under. Oh, almost got it despite the nearly triple team. And USF ball.
This is interesting to watch. Chom is definitely affecting the game when she's in. She can't play a full 40 minutes, but she's going to come in and do what she can. And right now she's forcing Ejim to shoot some shots that are a little uncomfortable for her. She's so good, you're not going to stop her, but make her uncomfortable, and you've done your job.
Dons haven't made a field goal in nearly 5 minutes now. Ziaka can't end that streak. Hybins the board, and the Zags will try to push and continue this. Ejim left all alone. She got it. John, how did that happen?
Yeah, that's the response. Ejim will do that all season long. She's going to beat others down the court. If they're going to put a bigger player at her, she's going to run faster, and if it's a good pass, it's going to be a score. That's almost her calling card, that fast break. It doesn't even look like she's running, but she tippy-toes her way down the court and puts it in.
Mia Vucic responds for the Dons, the senior from Croatia. 5-point game. Feels like the Zags should be winning by more.
Yeah, good responses. San Francisco not going away.
O'Connor. Oh, it was a great step back. Didn't go, though. And USF a chance to cut this even closer. The Dons have responded every time by landing a punch. And Ziaka will ask her coaching staff what to do. They say slow it down, run a play with 2:30 in the first half. Good passing. Fulcher, no. Little too long, and Hybens accidentally swats it out of bounds.
Look, this is the toughest environment San Francisco's played in all season long. They have 12 players, though, who are international. And with international comes competing for your country, semi-pro teams, different things, and then traveling and going away from your family. It's just this level of poise that is developed. It's not going to scare these ladies. And I think it's not a coincidence that when the game gets a little more intense here, they're not shying down like maybe some players might if they don't have that kind of level of experience.
USF and Washington State by far the most international teams this year in the conference. Chom chases down her own board, rejected by Ejim. Gonzaga ball.
Great job from Ejim having her hands straight up. That's what the refs are going to be looking for. Maybe a little bit of a bump. Chom might have an argument that she got bumped on it, but Ejim does the very visible hands up and smartly gets away with the call. Being the all-time leader in the conference might help you with a call here or there too.
Inside 2 minutes to play in the first half. It's been a good one here on Senior Day. Ejim all the way home. Oh, she couldn't get it. Dalton responds, gets the ball back, fighting for it. Allie Turner couldn't get the three. Offensive rebound by Dalton. That ball's loose. They'll let him play. USF takes over. Boy, oh boy, 90 seconds in the first. They've been hesitant to call fouls. It's made for a fun first half, but it's been all over the place.
What's funny is there's a lot of contact and fouls being called with post-ups and battling for rebounds, but not on ball. So if you're shooting, they're letting it go. They've been consistent with that, although they're calling it tight when people are battling for the post position.
It's a good point. Kicked away by Liana Lichi, who has been strangely quiet in this one for USF, despite the fact that last time she played the Zags, she had a double-double, which included 10 assists.
Yeah, she hasn't been able to create for anybody, but part of that is the defense has been solid in not letting her drive and penetrate and open up gaps. Chom got whacked in the mouth there. Referees say play on.
Betancourt back in to run the half-court offense. Ejim pops. Yeah. Can't leave her open, can't give her that shot.
That's her shot, right in the middle, just inside the three-point line. She's trying to stretch that out and show the professional scouts that she can shoot the three, but that's really her comfort zone.
Ziaka started good from three and then has gone quiet. She's now just 1 for 4. She's missed her last 3.
That time it was just better contest, right? A couple of the first ones were miscommunications on defense. She got a wide-open 3 and knocked it down. That time a little more contest.
Ejim breaking ankles and a 2.
She's just a professional. I mean, the reality is if you get to your spots, your job is to make that shot. She knows how to get to her spots, and then when it does, it's a foregone conclusion.
A 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Good finish of the half. The other night to end the half against St. Mary's, there were turnovers, and St. Mary's made a run. Gonzaga making a run tonight.
Worth now to Ziaka. 5 to shoot. Ejim takes it away.
Plenty
6
of time
in the quarter.
for a pass.
Ejim all the way home. No, Ziaka recovers. Tie up with 2.3. This should be Gonzaga ball, and it is. Time for one last inbound play.
I love that Ejim went all the way to the bucket because sometimes when the clock's running down, you pull up too early, but she could have made a pass there ahead.
2.3 in the half. Turner to inbound. Betancourt to shoot. Won't go, and that is the end of a riveting first half, and somehow the Gonzaga Bulldogs lead by 9. That was an electric 20 minutes of hoops.
Yeah, you got to feel good, Coach Fortier, knowing that Senior Day, this is going to be a little different than normal, but I think she's got to feel pretty good about that outcome and that score. We'll have a chance to ask her in just a moment, but the defense got turned up. It proved a little bit as we got down the stretch.
And in comes Coach Lisa Fortier for our halftime interview. Here with Coach Fortier. Coach, that was an electric first half of basketball. A lot of up and down. Were you guys expecting that much running in the first half?
Well, one of our goal is to get a bunch of transition baskets against these guys. They're a great transition offensive team, and I think we can run on them defensively. I don't think they get back as well as they go that way, which neither do we sometimes. So I think it looked like it was a track meet for a little bit.
Same story when Chaum comes in with her height, causing some problems defensively. Are you going to look to push, or what's the thought there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a couple times she had two hands pulling Bonnie this direction. I think she got fouled on that last one. I don't think that she was there. So, unfortunately, San Francisco's style of play is very physical and aggressive, and they just kind of go through every time, and the refs sometimes miss a lot of that stuff. So it's tough. I think that we have a lot of things we can do against her, but we haven't been able to capitalize as much as we'd like to so far.
Coach, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, 34-25 our halftime score. We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus, then come back with a lot of highlights. A spoiler alert, there will be a lot of transitions and three-pointers, plus stats, a look ahead to the postseason, senior day, and a whole lot more. Back here at halftime in the kennel, 34-25 your halftime score. An electric first half. USF led for most of the first quarter, but it zags by 9 at the break. As we welcome you back inside the kennel alongside the great John Billings, I'm Greg Talbot. Boy, that was a riveting first half of basketball. USF came out of the gates running. They shot 67% before the first media timeout. But by halftime, John, they're only shooting 26% as a team. Gonzaga's defense really changed this game.
Yeah, neither coach is going to love that first half, but the fans will. It was fun. It was entertaining to see him get out and run. San Francisco tried to get some easy buckets early, and they did. Once Fortier and company made some adjustments, started playing a little better defense, they narrowed that down, and you can see it just fell off. But Gonzaga, if they can get stops, they can score. Similarly, when you score, it's way easier to get back, right? They take the ball out of the hoop, and it's a little easier to slow down that transition.
Well, the atmosphere in here has been great. It's almost a sellout here for senior day, and it made for an emotional beginning, especially the roars of the crowd for certainly a Mount Rushmore Zag. Makes a case for the best of all time the last couple years, Yvonne Ejim. You know the numbers, now the all-time leading scorer, all-time leading rebounder, all-time points. She has been a miracle. It was emotional to start this game.
Yeah, 71 if she goes double figures again tonight, which she's got 9. 71 straight games with double figures. It's just outrageous. But when you think about these seniors, it's amazing where the program has come. It used to be there was one great player and then some bit players and follow through, and now we're recruiting top talent. And when you're in a season like this one where you could win the conference, and it's almost a downer a little bit. I shouldn't say it's like a bad season, but nobody's, hey, we're going to make a big run here. Why not? I mean, they've got the talent to do it. They've won 14 straight. This is a team that could continue that into March, and it's on the backs of players like Little and so many across this group that we know that the one in lights is Yvonne Ejim, but the rest have had wonderful careers, and I think showing that this program is to a place where it can consistently compete.
Considering last year this team lost Eliza Hollingsworth, both Trong sisters, and Brenna Maxwell, 2 of those 4 drafted by the WNBA, 2 graduated. The fact that this team is still winning the West Coast Conference, has a chance to win in Vegas, and has a chance to make a push in the NCAA tournament. This is an underrated group who has done a lot for this program. Coming off a year where they had one of their best teams in history, the fact that they've looked good this year is a testament to their ability.
Yeah, and they're peaking at the right time of the year, right? When you lose players like that early on, everybody's trying to identify what their role's going to be. Now they know, and we're seeing the performance.
Zags by 9 will come back with highlights, stats, and more. Halftime inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. Gonzaga leading USF by 9. As we welcome you back inside, Greg Talbot and John Billings with you at the break. Let's show you some of these first half highlights. If you've been watching this game, you know what we're going to show you. For USF, Freya Worth right out of the gate was a star, John.
It's the same play twice. Dribble, handoff, that medium range jumper got her going, and then once she's hot, she's going to knock it down. It looks like a replay here, but this is actually the second bucket that she hit, and then she got the hot hand and spreads out into the corner. Getting 2 fouls on Worth is a big difference maker. Made her worry on defense. Keep an eye on that in the second half. Then Gonzaga got it rolling in response. Everybody's looking inside to Ejim and company, but Turner got it going. They're going to have open threes tonight, and if they can knock them down, Gonzaga is going to get the victory. Once Turner got hot, O'Connor got in the action as well, and Gonzaga spread out to get that lead late in the second.
Gonzaga shooting 42% from downtown. They are 5 for 12. Could be a taco day here inside the McCarthy Athletic Center for Senior Day. John's crossing his fingers. He wants the tacos. We'll take a break, come back with the second half. Bulldogs by 9. A big day at Gonzaga University. All eyes will be on this building tonight at 5 o'clock as the men's team plays top 25 St. Mary's on ESPN. In the undercard today, we have Gonzaga Women's Senior Day against USF. They lead by 9 at halftime. Back inside the kennel, Greg Talbot, John Billings, ready to take you through the second half of this one. Here's a look at our halftime stats. Boy, the Gonzaga defense really locked USF down, John. They haven't even hit 10 shots. Yeah,
better turnovers tonight than there was the other night. San Francisco's got to feel good about getting a few three-pointers to stretch out the defense, but it really all came early. If you look at the second quarter stats, if we were to show that kind of comparison, It was night and day.
Points in the paint. Huge, especially Yvonne Ejim really doing her job banging around down there today.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised to see Ejim dominating as she has for the last 3 years, really. But I think the key is, does San Francisco slow that down and allow the threes, or do they give her an opportunity or two and stay tight on the three-point line?
And potentially the biggest statistic that is not on that screen, a huge win for Gonzaga is that turnovers are a wash. Both teams have 8. Neither coach wants that many, but considering Gonzaga's not losing the turnover battle, for this year's team, that's a win.
Yeah, and look, they play a lot more possessions where they get out and run, so their turnover numbers are going to be a little higher than some others that might slow it down, like Portland, as you said earlier. But it's a matter of just playing clean basketball. When I talked to assistant coach Stacey Klein-Smith before the game, they said clean possessions is what they're going for. And that's not necessarily just a turnover. That could be deflection. That could be passing to the shooter, but making them reach for it instead of stepping in and stroking.
What can USF do to narrow this lead down?
Well, I liked what they did with Chom bringing that size in to slow down Ejim. Gonzaga made the adjustment and got her to kind of pull away from the hoop a little bit. I think if San Francisco is able to keep getting some easy buckets out in the break, that'll be good. Worth has to stay out of foul trouble.
The Zags have their senior day lineup out there again. Taylor Dalton, Bree Salenbine, Esther Little, Yvonne Ejim, and Matt Hybens. This is what started the game, but this lineup also let USF get out to a 9-1 run to begin.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They have length. They can do a lot of things defensively that they couldn't necessarily do with the smaller lineup. We saw in the first half when this group was in the extended full court. We'll see if they do that again, too.
I love the smile that is always on Taylor Dalton's face while she's out there. Her energy and the way she plays, that passion, that enthusiasm, has been such a good addition to this year's team as she transferred in from St. Mary's. Worth hits it.
Curling off the pick, that's her shot. She loves stepping into it. Just a quick thought on Dalton. When you get a transfer in, not every kind of personality meshes. Hers is perfect.
Salenbine.
Yeah, a little discard.
Offensive foul on Yvonne Ejim.
Ejim just battling in, but threw the bow, and that was what the official caught. That's partially on Ejim, but it's also partially on the rest of the offense not getting the ball to her quick enough. She's going to get that post position. If you get it to her the first second or two, you're good. If she has to wait for it, that's when she's going to have to hold off, and you see a foul.
USF very efficient out of the gate against this Gonzaga senior lineup. But after the Zags locked it down 5 minutes in, USF's offense cratered. Here's Kiaita for 3 in the corner.
Great start for the Dons coming out, shooting in the second half. Gonzaga, like the first half, a little slow to get on the shooters.
Taylor Dalton over to Salenbine now. Height advantage for the redshirt junior. She can come back one more year if she wants to, as Taylor Dalton whiffs that one. But that is one thing that people might not know. Bree Salenbine out there, she's out there for senior day, but Bree actually does have one more year if she wants it because of all the injuries.
Yeah, she got an injury medical redshirt season, so she could come back for one more. Be interesting because she's been here long enough. You know, when your friends are all graduating, do you want to stick around or do you want to go? But it would be awesome to see her for one more year of full health basketball.
It has been so hard to watch the struggle, but also a pleasure to watch the resurgence of Bree Salenbine under Coach Lisa Fortier this year. Believe it or not, she's been on campus now, Bree. This is her 4th year. She's only played like 50-something games for this team.
55.
Yeah.
But you know what you get from an injury is an appreciation once again, right? So she comes back and appreciates the little things that she might have hated conditioning before, but when you've been on the sideline, you'll take just about everything you can get. And I think that's good for teammates, too, to see a player come back and still kind of cherish the game and makes you think, I better appreciate it as well. And you get every once in a while, she doesn't have the same explosiveness that she might have had when she came in, but she is so talented. With her size, length, she can shoot, she can handle the ball, she can pass.
Coach Fortier really talking to the refs over on the bench just a second ago is that's up, around, and in from Triwala Porta. Had 18 against the Zags last time they played, and now she only has 4 in this game. As we have a timeout on the floor, and we will take it with them. Bulldogs by 2. USF has pushed right back in it on a 7-0 run. The Bulldogs were up 9 on USF at halftime, but just 2 minutes into the third quarter, it's back to a 2-point game. This senior day, senior lineup has not been working for them, John.
Yeah, and it's not that the players can't do it or that particular lineup can't, but they haven't done it yet this year. So you're sort of trying it under fire. And San Francisco, to credit them, they're getting to where they want and getting their shots, and they're exposing that.
Quick look at the plus-minus of this senior lineup. It's not pretty for the Bulldogs as Bree Salenbine gets tangled up. Maud Hybens, minus 11. Esther Little, minus 6. Taylor Dalton, minus 7. Bree Salenbine, minus 5. And this team is winning the game. Kicked away. This will stay Gonzaga ball with 5 on the shot clock. But this senior day lineup, John, partially not their fault because they've never run that lineup before because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think where it shows up is on the defensive end. Your rotations and your kind of adjustments are different, and that's kind of what we're seeing.
New 20 shot clock for the Bulldogs. Luckily, they can take this down if they want to.
Love this first possession, though, taking the shot clock all the way down. Make San Francisco play a little defense.
Turner for Hybens.
Yeah, great possession. Patience, rotation between before and after the kick, and then finding the open jumper.
Good movement. Kiaita for 3. That's her second.
Almost the same spot, too. Nice job running her off and making her take a dribble. But right now, Gonzaga in transition, struggling to find their matchups.
USF has hit 4 out of their first 5 buckets to start the third quarter. This team had not even hit 10 buckets total in the first half. USF knew what they were looking at in that starting lineup, and they took advantage. Turner. Hybens doubled. 5 to shoot. Salenbine from deep. That won't go. What a putback from Taylor Dalton. Oh, how about that aggression?
Yeah, and that had to happen. It didn't hit the rim, so they weren't going to get a shot clock reload. Dalton not only got the board, but put it up quick.
There's Worth. Right to the rim again. Coming off a great game against Wazoo. She had 16 and 9. She's got 13 already today.
Yeah, surprised Ejim's not coming back into the game right away here. Gonzaga's got losing their rhythm on offense right now.
Salenbine forced 2 up from probably too deep right there. And now USF a chance to take the lead for the first time in quite a while. They led a lot of the first quarter, have not led since.
Little on Worth now, and she's got nice length. She can guard big and little.
Now Triwala Porta over to Leachy with 5 to shoot. Great pass for 3. Worth can't get the roll, and lucky Mount Hybens was there.
Yeah, lucky that didn't drop in. Little lost it, just got caught ball watching for a moment. Worth will want that one back.
Dalton for Little.
Great ball movement here.
Hybens Going to work. Up and over. Oh, good angle. Gotta love her being 6'3" in that situation.
When Gonzaga's patient, they're getting their shots, utilizing a team where really everybody can score equally.
Trewally Porta left wide open. What happened?
Yeah, that's just not getting back in time and getting set. And immediately you see Fortier pushing players up to the sideline to be subbed in.
Zags will sub 3 at the next dead ball.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence when a mismatch happens like that.
Hypens again. She is coming to life to start the second half.
I think you said she was minus 11 early on, and she immediately responded.
Kiaita in transition. USF, when they push, is so efficient. Next dead ball will take us to the under 5 media timeout, and these teams need it. They're gassed. Hybens again. Oh, you can't stop her. That's 4 in a row.
Oh, get back. Fortier's yelling, get back. Everybody needs to get back behind the ball instead of just getting back to their defender or their attacking player.
Worth no. And a second chance good board went right to Cami Fulcher. Look at the swing. Kiaita through the zone. Trewally Porta got it. And one on the block. Oh boy, USF is trying to pull an upset today in Spokane.
Good transition defense is not just about getting back before your man. It's about getting back into your position and then going out and closing out to the shots. And right now they're just not doing it well enough.
And Trewally Porta will try to tie it at the free throw line when we come back. Gonzaga leads by 1 midway through the third quarter, but USF has a chance to tie it at the free throw line. It has been close pretty much the whole way today, John Billings, but that is not a surprise. Despite the fact that the Zags are on a 14-game winning streak, in the month of February, every game but one has been won by 10 points or less. All of these games have been competitive.
Yeah, they won't be surprised to be in a situation like this. On one hand, that's a knock, right? They are not able to stretch it out and just clinch games off, but they're winning those close games. They're winning them because of defense. They're able to get a close stop here or there right at the end. Just Thursday night, they were down 4, or just up 4 with 1:30 left against St. Mary's. They got a big 3 from Turner and then stretched it out with a stop or 2. So the question is, can they get stops? Right now they're still scoring, but they're letting San Francisco score too easily.
Emma Trewally Porta misses it and keeps Gonzaga in the lead. Free throws might be hard to come by down the stretch. We've only seen 7 total free throws shot in today's game. Referees have called a lot of off-the-ball fouls, very few shooting fouls. Claire O'Connor just a little bit short. Dalton the rebound. She's been so good on the offensive boards. Ejim got it in traffic, but again, no foul on the shot.
She pulled a rabbit out of a hat on that one. That was a magician's finish. She knows where she is without even looking at the rim.
Boy, oh boy. Both coaches actually kind of getting aggravated with the referees, asking for more fouls. But it's starting to look like the WCC tournament. When you get to Vegas, you don't see them. Esther Little on the other end. Yes, ma'am.
Great finish from the senior to hesitate just a little bit and avoid the Worth block.
And we have some folks standing with a standing ovation for Esther Little. So fun when she does shoot. Usually pretty rare. Worth through the paint, rejected by Yvonne Ejim. Zags in transition again. Betancourt couldn't get it. And Trewally Porta the rebound. There's a foul on the floor. And that'll be on Esther Little.
Yeah, 1-on-3, maybe one to pull out. I like the aggressiveness, and she was able to get all the way to the rim, so you can never fault a player if they're able to get there to try to get up and finish. But possibly a one to pull out that time.
And Taylor Dalton on full court defense. The conditioning is really kicking in for today's game.
And the defense just ratcheted up. After that last timeout, Fortier must have given them an earful, and they've come out, and it's been a totally different defensive show from GU.
His Vucic, she hits a big 3 off the bench in the first half. Might be looking for that again.
Little battling underneath to keep Worth from getting the ball.
Ziaka up and over with a playground shot off the backboard.
Ziaka from Greece, one of those international players. Brazil, Spain, Greece, Sweden, Spain, Hungary, I think I said Spain, Argentina, Senegal, Serbia, all of these countries.
And Canada. There's Yvonne Ejim.
Wow.
Fulcher had a look at that one, didn't take it for 3. Freya Worth puts USF right back in it. 2-point game, 2 to play in the third.
Yeah, if you're going to miss somebody, don't miss the Swede, who's their #1 scorer. And again, transition defense right now is killing Gio.
How'd you forget Sweden?
Did I say Spain?
Twice.
Yeah, 3 times.
Dalton, 3.
Too deep.
Whiffed it. And there's Ziaka. USF pushing again, down 2. Trewally Porta. 2-pointer. Got it. Cami Fulcher, and we are tied.
Nice drive from Trewally Porter. Drew the defense down into the paint. Had the presence of mind for the nice kick.
This is our 5th tie of today's game. Zags led by 9. USF has made a push back to a tie in the third. And a chance to lead now. Ziaka up and over. She got it. USF their first lead since the first half. And boy, did it get quiet in here.
Yeah, you can feel the tension as Gonzaga now struggling to find their stuff. Got to get the ball to Ejim here and let her go to work.
Here's Vonnie, doubled, little to recover. She was looking for Taylor Dalton and gave it up, and USF takes it. 45 seconds to play in the third.
It's when Gonzaga doesn't score that they can't get back and get settled and get their defense set. They have the opportunity this time to see if they can defend better.
Dalton.
When they're scoring, they're just keeping San Francisco from getting out.
Trey Wally, not her best shot. No shot clock on, 25 to play in the quarter, and Vucic fouled Claire O'Connor going up.
Yeah, foul to give. Smart play there to slow things down. You do actually see that more in the international game. They're much more willing to give a foul and get the advantage back for their team and collect their thoughts.
Now the Zags do not have to shoot here. They can wind it down from 25.8. The question is, will they? Down 2 points. Do you want the best shot or do you want the last shot?
The best. The best for sure, if you can get one quick.
Allie Turner back in off the bench.
But they won't start. Usually you try to go at about 11 seconds. That way you have enough time for a tip in as well if you need it. Such an advantage to have Turner who can get her own shot here too.
Here's Turner. Hybens with 5. You bet! Zags take the lead to end the third quarter in Spokane.
Perfect execution. Turner able to turn the corner. If you go under on her, you're in trouble. That time both defenders worried about her. The kick back, Hybens knocked it down.
The Bulldogs back in the lead. Don't you go anywhere. It's our last game this year in the kennel, and it's a 1-point game. First place Gonzaga leading USF by 1 point as we're back to begin the fourth quarter, and the end of a third was electric. Allie Turner off the bench to Mott Hybens. Big 3, another momentum changer, John.
Yeah, they had to hit that one. Turner creates it as she turns the corner, forces 2 players to defend her, and Hybens really stepped up in that third quarter. When Gonzaga was struggling, she was the only one that could put it in the hoop.
It has been close the whole time. 7 lead changes, 5 ties. Allie Turner draws a foul.
Exactly same play. This time, both defenders don't go with Turner. She makes them pay for it. I'd be surprised if Allie Turner gets subbed out in this fourth quarter. The way she's able to own the offense, get it into play. They need her three-point shooting, but I think more so her ball handling has been able to get them into their spots to find the right offensive flow.
This has not been her best game. She's been playing less than usual. She's only played 20 minutes of this one, and she now has 10 points. But 9 of those came off three-pointers. The Zags are not even in this game, John, if she hadn't made those threes.
Yeah, and it's extending the defense again here, a little pressure, not just to try to get steals, but it slows down the offense and gets them out of their rhythm. It allows you to pressure again. When you're zoning, it keeps the team from going at you or extending a press. It keeps the defense kind of being the aggressors.
Leachy had a shot to go through the zone and didn't as they wind it down 5 to shoot. Vucic, another three. That's her second from that same spot.
And she was shouting for the ball as soon as she got open over there. It took a while for it to get there to her, but she was still ready.
USF back in the lead with another lead change. Boy, this has been such a fun game. Tipped away, Zag ball.
Just need a little more patience from the top of the key there from Dalen. If she waits, Hybens will duck in underneath and this little post-to-post pass. She wasn't patient enough.
Betancourt to inbound. Turner. Now to Hybens. She's had a couple of big downtown threes. Here's Betancourt back for Dalen. 5 to shoot. Enesh has to go with 3. 2. Betancourt, no. And she didn't get it off in time. USF ball with the lead. The turnovers this late in the game from Enesh Betancourt have been tough this year, especially the last couple. She had a tough game last weekend on the turnovers.
Yeah, both coaches talked about kind of the battle they expected. Stacey Klein-Smith said one of the keys to tonight's game was matching the physicality, and we've seen that. Referees have let them play, and that physicality makes it tough.
Cami Fulcher back to Leachy, who's been so quiet she hasn't scored yet tonight. She had 12 against the Zags last time 6 weeks ago on the Hilltop. 3.
Wow.
Vucic had a look. That's her first miss.
Clever tip from Salenbine to get it back out to Turner.
Betancourt running. Salenbine trapped. And they'll reset here.
Nice poise to not really worry and let the defense settle before she got it out.
Vucic way too aggressive on Betancourt.
Some of those keys from the coaching staff to just revisit, before the game when you're talking about what's your plan. For San Francisco, it was stop Ejim. They got a double, they got a block out, and they're best when multiple players score. Well, tonight we've seen that. Everybody is stepping up. It's not just Worth, although she's been probably the best. For Gonzaga, it was matching physicality, was talking and switching off screens. They've struggled to do that in the second half.
Look at this perimeter passing. This is as good as it's been all day. Back to Turner, and she'll hold. 5 to shoot, Salenbine. Through traffic, recovers, 3, and a jump ball. Going back for USF, we thought so. Zags have had a couple tough possessions in a row here coming off those threes.
Yeah, just not the spacing that time. Too many players out of the three-point line, so there were no gaps to kind of rotate the ball across the horn. Crowd getting into it here.
Corner, Fulcher, yes. USF making a push, and look at her screaming as she comes back across the timeline.
You've got to run these shooters off the line. If they drive and make a nice play down the bucket, good, but you can't let them have a wide open, step into it, and hit the 3.
USF is shooting 40% from 3. Gonzaga is down now to just 33. After they started the game, 50%. And there's a foul on USF. That'll be on Ziaka. That's good news for GU.
It's amazing how different this second half has been. 25 points given up at halftime. Gonzaga well on their way to giving up less points than they would normally do. Now they're going to give up more than their average.
Here's Ejim, tripped and no foul. And Coach Fortier furious over on the bench about it. Here comes USF. Fulcher had a look and didn't take it. Running the clock, inside 7 to play in Spokane. Worth, cross court, corner, Fulcher won't take. 5 to shoot. Ziaka to the middle, no whistle with 2 on the clock. USF ball, 2 to go off the inbound, and USF wants a timeout to draw something up.
Right now, that's got to be getting to their shooters. Find somebody off a roll and see if they can knock it down.
We'll take a break. USF off the inbound when we come back. USF leading first place Gonzaga by 4 late in the West Coast Conference season with 6:38 to go inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's loud in here, John Billings, but USF feels like they have the control right now.
Yeah, big play here for Gonzaga to look to get a stop or for San Francisco to extend it. There's only about 1.5 seconds, even though it says 2 on the clock.
2 on the clock. USF to inbound. Looking for Trowali Porta, tipped away.
Wow, that was a clever play. She couldn't get anybody, so she threw it off of Little's back. It ended up hitting a little lower, bounced away. Under a second here now to inbound.
Here's Leachy again. Into the middle. Ejim has it. Zags take it away. A chance to claw back. The Bulldogs haven't hit a shot from the floor in almost 3.5 minutes. Allie Turner can't change it, but it was close. Ziyaka the rebound. Loose ball. And here come the Dons again. Leachy all the way. And she just missed it. How could the Zags let her have that shot, John?
That's a big rebound, keeping possession for San Francisco. Every rebound now is going to be huge, and Porta comes up with that one too.
Ziyaka had a look, and they tell her to hold back and run some clock as we hit the 6-minute mark in this game. Man, it's as loud as a men's game in here right now. Listen to this in the kennel. Here's Worth through 3 in traffic.
No call.
No foul again. USF ball. These players are looking at the refs with mouths agape.
Part of that is she created some contact, a little shoulder, a little forearm as she got in there, and then the contact came back, and I guess the referee said, well, that was even.
1 on the shot clock again for USF.
Yeah, good defense last time for Gonzaga, just stifling out of the inbound.
Leachy.
Same thing.
Taken away, same thing. It's right to Yvonne Ejim, but they'll touch the head. Gonzaga ball, they'll take it slow. Gonzaga now hasn't made a bucket in the last 4 minutes because they've turned it over 3 times in the last 4 minutes. This team needs Allie Turner and Yvonne Ejim to come up big down the home stretch.
Ejim's got a smaller Fulcher on her. They got to get it in the post. I love this high-low. That way she can pass it in from that top.
The 4th turnover in the last 4 minutes. Worth on the other end draws the foul. This team was so good about not turning it over early in the game, John, these Bulldogs. But the 4th quarter, the turnovers are making them fall apart.
Yeah, that was exactly what Gonzaga wanted. Hybins at the top and Ejim ducking in with Seal, and they just couldn't find her in time. Credit Worth on that. That's ball pressure. That makes that pass harder, and you really save your teammate who's getting pinned underneath the hoop because you've got pressure on the ball.
Freya Worth, 17 on Thursday against Washington State, 17 tonight against first place Gonzaga now. Turner into Ejim, wave it off, fouled down low, off the ball on USF's defense.
Ejim's got to go there every time. Gonzaga, all 4 players around her have got to be aware when she's got position. If you have an angle, and that's the key, be patient for your angle, pass it to the corner if you need to get it, but you got to find Ejim's hands inside the paint.
That's on Trowali Porta, her 3rd.
And the response from Goodenbauer is to put a much taller Chom back in the game to guard her.
Hybins falling away, she couldn't get it. Loose ball, Turner for 3, no. Ejim chasing, has it, doubled, and a foul on USF. Oh, it is fun in here today in the kennel.
You can feel Ejim sort of saying, hey guys, get on my back. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. Trying to find a steal, trying to get the rebound, trying to score. Still just 5 fouls for the Dons, so a long ways away from the bonus. Are they going to call shooting?
We're in the bonus.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. 5 fouls in the women's game in the quarters.
So here's Yvonne Ejim, who despite having 13 points and 6 boards, still feels like a quieter performance by her standards.
These are big. If you can see the ball go through the hoop, things start to change for you, and if you can do that at the line. This is also going to help Gonzaga set up their defense.
She is likely to be a first-team AP All-American at the end of this year, but a huge winning streak, a conference championship would probably help that. Listen to this inside the kennel on Senior Day. Yvonne Ejim's last game ever in this building. and she takes it away on the steal.
Great defensive help coming across to give her the opportunity from Highbines.
Zags down 3. Into the middle, it's Ejim. O'Connor, what a conversion! 4-3, it's a tie game. Listen to this. Who needs the Kennel Club when you have these fans? And USF wants a timeout. We're going to stay here. You stay on your couch. Let's talk about what happened in that segment, John.
Well, you got to find Ebens, right? Ejim, excuse me. When she's inside, she's either going to score or she's going to create for others. Gonzaga was having a tough time finding space and the angles to get it in there. It's kind of a misconception of just pass it in there because they've got the advantage. You want to get it to one of the angles, kind of that 45-degree angle from the hoop. That's where Turner was on that last one. It was a long pass in. But once she gets it, everyone from San Francisco is going to turn their heads to the best WCC scorer we've ever seen. She'll kick it out, and then you see the wide open 3. And it's been pure all night when it gets O'Connor in the corner there. Gonzaga's got to keep getting the ball inside, but they have to be patient for that timing of when to pass.
Claire O'Connor will do more the older she gets. She's only a sophomore, but for now, what she's best at is finding a way to get open when people are on Ejim. She sits on the perimeter, drills a 3 exactly when you need it.
Yeah, she's good defensively. She's a big guard, and she's shut down really all night. Leche.
Here's Ziaka. Now Worth, no foul called on Taylor Dalton. 10 to shoot. Taylor tips it away, and the Zags have it. USF hasn't made a bucket in more than 3 minutes now. They've gone cold. And the Zags will look for the go-ahead basket with 4 to play on senior day.
Great example of the patience. Ejim had it, but there was not the right time. Wait for it. She'll get another shot at it.
Highbins into
Nice.
Ejim. What a pass! Oh, she missed it and gets her own board and puts it home.
Well, she's not only the WCC leading scorer, she's also leading rebounder. Maybe she just had to pad the stats, right?
Zags by 2. That's our 9th lead change. Here's Worth. Now to Fulcher, who's deadly from 3. Leachy with 5 to shoot. Ziaka going to work. Kicks. Fulcher at the horn. She got it. And we're tied.
And a foul. Wow, late whistle. As Fulcher had already really put it through the hoop, she's going to get a chance for one more.
Oh, Mount Highbins can't believe it. Her jaw is on the floor. That's right. They gave Fulcher the whistle. She has a chance for the lead.
What happened there was Gonzaga switches nearly all screens, especially on-ball stuff, late in the clock. And you see as the drive for Fulcher came in, a little bit of contact. But everybody was guarding somebody they're not usually guarding, and that's when you just kind of helter-skelter get to the whistle, and they were 1 second late.
USF back in the lead, 62-61. To the middle, Highbins was doubled and draws the foul. The Zags are so good about getting it into their bigs inside and making USF foul.
Yeah, we see if this is on Worth or Porta. They were both there. I didn't catch who. Worth has 3 personals right now.
That's on Worth, number 3. And here's Highbins. Gonzaga's only 4 for 6 from the line. 4 for 7. The free throws have been a problem today. Not only their percentage, also how little they've gotten there. For the tie. Here we go again. 3 minutes to play. And now Leachy on O'Connor. And they're getting on their feet in the kennel. So many games have gone late this year for this team.
Dribble handoffs, you got to communicate defensively on the switch. With the crowd getting louder, that gets tougher and tougher. Looks like a foul battling for position underneath.
Off the ball foul on the Zags on defense.
Still a couple to give for GU.
It's on Claire O'Connor. And a new 20 under the basket now for the Dons. 3, no from Worth.
Big rebound.
And the best rebounder in the conference comes up big with a tie game.
This might be a good place for that high pick and roll that we saw near the end of the third quarter.
For Ejim. Here she goes. Yes. Zags by 2. And a timeout. Well, the referee actually has taken a second here.
Maybe a delay of game warning, I think, maybe touching the ball after it goes through the hoop. Ejim hits that medium range jumper like it's a layup.
Yep.
I mean, that is her game. And in basketball, in the pro and the college level now, where it's all at the bucket or threes, beautiful to see that long two.
Approaching 2 minutes. Worth going to work. Got it. Freya Worth, 19 points. She might be the WCC Player of the Week this weekend. Depends how this game ends. Can they knock off first place Gonzaga? Zags only lead Portland by 1 game in the standings. They cannot afford to lose. Hybins got it. No foul on either player that ended up on the court. Zags by 2, 145. It is deafening.
And they'll go back to get Worth down low again. They love her on the dribble handoff. This time looking to post up the smaller Dalton.
Ziaka answers for USF and puts the Dons in the lead with under 90 seconds. Boy, that took the wind right out of this crowd's sails. And now the Zags need to answer. We've been trading blows since under 5 minutes. Into the middle, Ejim has it, recovers, Turner for 3, almost. Loose ball, Ejim fighting for it, USF has it, Worth takes it away, and now the Zags are on the wrong side of a 3-on-2. Leachy for Ziaka, they'll slow it down 50 seconds.
Smart play there from Ziaka not to push that.
15 on the shot clock.
A couple mismatches there in transition, but with that ball screen, there's a good chance to switch anyway.
5 for Leachy. A travel on Freya Worth. That is her first mistake today.
And that's caused from Ejim on the pick. She was used to being the one being screened, being the big. That time she comes out and switches right on it. That immediate pressure on Worth forced the turnover.
If you're the Zags on this possession, you have 33 in the game clock, 30 on the shot clock. Who do you find?
Well, they've been going to that high-low again where you've got Hybins and Ejim underneath. And the last couple times it's been Ejim at the free throw line, Hybins trying to post. I'd swap that. I'd try to get it something where they can rotate it around and make sure they've got Ejim underneath. Clearly, San Francisco is going to be watching for that, so shooters have to be ready if they get an open shot. But I think the key here is patience. You've got 30 seconds. You don't need to wait to get like the last shot, but you want to get a good shot. Don't force the first opportunity you have. Wait, because you certainly could always rotate the ball and get Ejim posting again on the other side.
Speaking of USF shooters, how about that 3 to put them ahead?
Ziaka's been confident all night. She's been calling and shouting for the ball. That was a big one. It happened because of the post up on the near side. Dalton went down and the defense kind of forced their way over, and then when it rotated, there was gaps.
Zags get it on the USF end, down 1. They cannot afford to lose this game. Ejim all the way, offensive foul! Gonzaga's worst nightmare after a game where the refs were so hesitant to call on the ball fouls. Now they get whistled for it with 30 seconds.
It's a tough 50-50 kind of call, but credit Worth for going down, because even if she doesn't get the call, it's going to be a tough finish. If she tries to just body up Ejim through, Ejim's going to score anyway.
31.2 seconds on the clock, 30 shot clock.
Try to get a steal to spend 5 or 6 seconds there and then foul.
Doubled, and there's the foul. Taylor Dalton got there first. Luana Leachy will go to the line.
They weren't trying to foul right there. They had one to give anyway, but you want to try to get the steal first. You always can back it up to get the foul.
It'll be Freya Worth to inbound. Zags have 3, guarding the 2 on the inbound here.
I think the question is that 4 or is that 5 fouls? It was noticed by Molly Gudenbauer, the head coach for San Francisco, saying, hey, I think we're in the bonus.
And she's calling her team back to the bench now.
The screen in the arena said 3 and then switched over to 4, and then there was some shouting, and now it's to 5. So I think they have it right, though. I think it is 5.
That's fine. Gonzaga wants all the time they can get on the other end. It is. So Leachy will go to the free throw line for USF here with 29.8. If she sinks both, well, this is a 1-and-1. If she sinks both, Gonzaga has a chance here to tie this game on the other end. Oh, she missed the first.
That's big.
Okay. This is a different game now with 29 seconds. USF has everyone back on defense. She missed both. Timeout, Lisa Fortier. Timeout, Gonzaga. They can win it on the other end.
They've still got one timeout left, so you want to make sure in this timeout you're telling time, ball, score, right? We've got the possession arrow, so if you need to, take a tie-up. If you get in trouble, call a timeout rather than forcing something. Clear direction from the coaching staff in these kind of late game situations are so important. It's something you practice all season long, but usually you've got 2 or 3 different options you're going to go to, and it's based on how things are going for the game. Gonzaga's had a tough time getting the ball into Ejim, so while she's your best player and everybody knows it, maybe you look at something else. Turner's been good on the high pick and roll, but has had a tough time knocking down the 3. So to me, I would run some sort of offense that is not just a set play that you're going to hold to one opportunity, but you want to run something that has opportunities to adjust. If that player steps out, you rotate here. If this rotation happens, you kick it out and you let players dictate. You hope that you've got the poise to kind of let the play develop and not go too quick.
Taylor Dalton will inbound it for the Bulldogs. Ejim, Turner, Hybens, Dalton, and O'Connor out for GU with 29 seconds. Into Ejim, who's doubled. Cross-court save by O'Connor. The sophomore going to work. Forced it up. Hybens the rebound. Jump ball. Gonzaga's got it with 17 and a half.
Love the play call. Ejim just couldn't get the angle to score on the inside. You've got out-of-bounds plays. Sometimes underneath, this is a great opportunity to find somebody backdoor, and if they rotate, you kick it out to the near side.
Zags down 1. They just need points. Dalton driving, doubled, gave it up. USF ball.
Everybody worried about the action underneath between Hybens and Ejim. O'Connor wide open in the far corner. Zags couldn't find her.
Okay, so we'll have to run this back again here. USF will inbound, Gonzaga will foul, USF will shoot, and a potential 2 or 3 coming up for Gonzaga at the horn to try to tie or take the lead.
Yeah, I think they're just taking a look here to make sure. Right now it says 11.7. You see 12
that feels
on
low.
our clock.
That feels low.
Yeah, whether or not they should put some more time on it. Gonzaga's been going with that pressure full court. This is where it's so nice to have their length. As you see it just rolling out off of Dalton. They can check at the end of the game too to make sure and just be 100% certain that it did go off her. It went through a few people's legs. It might have caught a knee and gone off of Dawn.
Man, USF has put up such a fight. Again, this team began the conference season 5-0 in WCC play. Then Deborah Dos Santos got hurt. Since then, they have gone 4-8 in conference. They have not been the same team. But this year is the first year in forever that truly anybody can beat anybody in this league on any day in any building. And USF is proving that again today in Spokane.
As Gonzaga's built notoriety for themselves, so has the WCC, right? And it starts to bring the other programs up to compete at their level. They get on TV a little bit more, all of a sudden people want to go and play for those schools. So they've, kind of a victim of their own success to get this kind of challenge. But good for a team before the WCC. We know they're up 1 in the standings, and this is not over yet. They don't have a lot of room to play with if they want to get the regular season, but the regular season doesn't give you the automatic bid. You got to win in the tournament. And a game like this can be a nice test for Coach Lisa Fortier and her staff to reiterate the areas this team needs to grow and improve. good look here at the standings. You can see that 1-game margin. Gonzaga is going to go Thursday at Pacific, Saturday at Santa Clara to finish up.
Portland, second place in the conference, meanwhile. They go today at 5 against Santa Clara. And Santa Clara is a team that has beaten Washington State on the road this year. They're a team like USF that can get up. So Portland is not a guaranteed win today,
right,
but they are a likely win at home against Santa Clara. So Gonzaga, if they don't want to follow into a tie with Portland, is going to have to make a shot on the way back after USF gets these free throws.
Well, look, last time down, Ziaka missed 2.
Yep.
If you get a chance to foul her, that's exactly who you're fouling. Not a bad idea to grab her as she cuts. If worst comes to worst, they call a foul on you on the catch. No time goes off the clock. They did confirm it is off Gonzaga.
Worth will inbound for USF. Gonzaga has to foul with 12.1. They put another second back on the clock. And they're on their feet in the kennel.
One player deep, Porta, and that's it for San Francisco.
Off the inbound, Little hits the deck. And offense, a timeout on USF. They didn't like the look. Fair enough. Do you like that move? Like the timeout there?
Yeah, you'd rather not take a risk. The 5-second clock was probably only at 3, though. She had another second to determine, but this is just like we said with Gonzaga in the last timeout. You don't need to take a chance. Make the safe, not sorry move, call a timeout, you get another chance to draw one up. I always love, if I'm San Francisco, having more players near the ball so they can run away. Even if you're just stretching the court out, it's a little more motion, and then it opens up the floor. Sometimes teams do this where they actually have that side players standing out of bounds, and then they can run up the court. Now, because the ball was off Gonzaga the last possession rather than a score, you can't run the baseline. You can't pass the ball on a baseline, which is not something you always see, but is a really clever option. In this case, they got to get the ball in, and the inbounder can't move.
The free throws have been a bugaboo for both teams. USF is about to go to the line after a likely Gonzaga foul. The Dons are only 5 for 10 from the stripe today. Gonzaga is 5 for 8. The referees have been hesitant to call shooting fouls, but when teams have gotten there, they have not finished. It'll be Worth to inbound again. Over Ejim. Leachy sprinting, and Dalton pulls her with 10.8.
Yeah, good for Gonzaga that was called, because trailing behind, they could have let it play on, and San Francisco would have lost another 5 or 6 seconds from the clock.
Leachy going to the line again. She missed 2 just a minute ago. Got it that time.
Yeah, I think I said Ziaka before. You're right. Leachy was up there last time. Big step up for her to bounce back after missing 2. It's always hard to shoot free throws when your team's not up there. It's just awkward and different.
Will the Zags have to shoot 2 or 3? Gonzaga needs a 3. And a timeout for Coach Fortier. Okay, so from the three-point perspective, Claire O'Connor today, 3 for 6. Allie Turner, 3 for 4. But Mount Hybens hit a big 3. You can't exclude the bigs from this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm just looking over at the bench to see if there's going to be a substitution if you get a three-point shooter in added to it. But like you said, you've got 3 good options, and Ejim can knock it down in a pinch as well.
But really,
Dalton occasionally, but really it's Turner who you'd like to get the shot. The other option is to get a quick 2. And if you can, if it's open and you could do it in under 3 or 4 seconds, you go right for that, but they got to go coast to coast. So that's tough.
10.8 is a little low, right, to want to take that 2.
Yeah, when you have to go the full length of the court, that becomes a tough thing.
So you have available from 3. Mount Hybens, who's 1 for 2 today. She's a big, but she can drill it. She has already. You have Claire O'Connor, who's 3 for 6, who has been good today from downtown. Allie Turner is 3 for 7. She's a top 10 three-point shooter in the country, but USF will be looking to guard her.
Yeah, and as far as USF's perspective, first they want to pressure the inbound pass so that they don't get somebody catching it on the run, right? That's the key for them. The other is they've got a choice. They could always foul early on the ground and put Gonzaga at the line to shoot two. I love that, but it's rare that you see it just because
it happened in here earlier this year.
Yeah, you know, the worry is they're going to try to shoot while I'm doing that, but I kind of look at it like if they can make 3 straight free throws, that might be more rare than a stand-up 3. So we'll see. Oh, the advancement of the ball. So they are at half court. That's a huge difference from having to take it full court.
10.8 on the clock. Allie Turner is a top 10 three-point shooter in women's college hoops, and the Zags down 3 with 10.8. O'Connor for Turner, and a foul.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the let's foul to make sure they don't get the three-point shot off or not, but that works out just fine.
It works just fine because now Gonzaga's only got 2. It's going to be Bree Salenbine, and with 7 seconds, you have to wonder how they're going to play this. Gonzaga 5 for 8 from the line.
I think with 8 seconds left, you try to make it. You get him out of bounds. That's easier to steal off that, and then you foul right away if you have to. She's looking over to ask, and it looks like it's a make.
And she does. A 1-point game. They changed the clock again. Okay, 8.6 on the clock. So Worth will inbound it again for USF. Gonzaga will try to foul again and take it up court one last time for 3.
And no timeouts.
Worth over Ejim, has Leachy, and O'Connor and Ejim got there in time.
And they did it perfectly because they tried to get the steal right away, but then they did it so aggressively that they didn't have to foul the recipient of the pass. They could foul the passer, and only a second and a half went off the clock.
So it's going to be Leachy again at the other end for USF, who missed 2, and then the next time down, made 2.
You can't advance the ball now. No more timeouts. In some cases, when the ball comes off on a miss, you get the push, but it's harder to get the offense kind of into your spacing. But this is something that every team will have practiced all season long.
Okay, that's huge. Leachy missed it again. And now the Zags will bring in everyone to try to pull a rebound here. They're down 2 with 7 seconds.
Coach Fortier not calling anything out, which to me means this is something they practiced for a play.
Leachy got it. Zags down 2. USF won't want to foul here.
Pressuring high.
Ejim, 5. The All-American for Salenbine with 1. Up and under, she missed it. No foul. USF holds on to win and knocks off first place Gonzaga on senior day. Oh, what a finish.
No foul called. It's one of those that, to be fair, they haven't called all night. And if you think it's a foul, then you would have had to call the last 20 because they were letting them battle when the drive came to the bucket. She got a little too deep under, and it would have been tough off the reversal. There was absolutely contact. Was it a foul? Let's take a look one more time.
I'm not sure it was a foul.
Yeah, she was bodied up. I mean, certainly there was contact, but I don't know, especially the way it was called tonight. I don't think that's a foul. Tough one for Gonzaga with all the emotions of senior day. San Francisco came in and earned it, though. Start of the second half, they came out and absolutely took it to Gonzaga. Gonzaga fought back and got right back in and gave themselves a chance to win this game, but San Francisco earned it.
USF ends Gonzaga's 14-game winning streak, dating back to around New Year's when they lost in this building on national television to Oregon State in overtime. The coaches and players will now address the fans. Here to stay for Senior Day. We're going to stay here and listen to those speeches so you can hear them at home.
Thank you guys so much for all your support. Apologize. Thank you guys for being here for this team. How much better have we gotten since the beginning of this thing? It's very hard to take what happened last season, graduate 5 players, and then bring in 8 new ones and gel right away. It's hard to figure it out. And our team has been such a diligent group of workers, and they've just believed in the process. And I think that that's truly because of the seniors that we have this year. All of our seniors are process people. Vonnie, Esther, Bree, Maut, and Taylor, they all believe in the process because they're people who have benefited from process, from hard work, from trusting in the situation, from having hard conversations, and from growing. And so I think that they've been the perfect group of leaders to lead this year's team that needed to believe in all those things and work through all of those things. I'm going to let them talk. I've been crying all week. I'm not going to look at them. I do want to just quickly say thanks to the students who came, thanks to the Bulldog Band, thank you to all of our fans, our loyal, faithful fans. You guys are great. We really appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can drum up some excitement and energy down in Vegas because I think it's going to be a good tournament. And I'm pretty sure our team's going to be hungry for a couple of wins down there. So that being said, our seniors are going to just take a quick minute to thank a couple people, say what they want to say, and then we'll see you guys in Vegas in a couple weeks. So who's first?
Hi, guys. Public speaking is not my thing, so bear with. But first, I want to thank the coaches. Thank you for taking a chance on me. My freshman year was a very rocky ride. I think I cried every single day. So you guys could have very easily given up on me. I know we've had a lot of ups and downs, but thank you for sticking with me. It means the world. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and thank you for allowing me to thank who I'm about to thank, because that wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you. Next, I want to thank Myra, Kendall, our previous athletic trainer. You guys are the best. Not only do you look after our bodies, but you do as much for our minds as you do for our bodies, and you mean the world to us, so thank you. Next, I want to thank Mike. For you guys in the stands, you probably see all he does is warm us up, but let me tell you, this man does more for us than anyone in the program. He has the biggest heart, the biggest ears, and he's the most selfless man. So thank you, Mike. Love you. I want to thank some people who aren't here tonight, but Erica, Hayden, Key, those girls, or women, I guess, throughout our time at Gonzaga have been our safe space. They've been like a true sister to all of us. So I don't know if there's a live stream, but if you're watching, love you. Your time with me was invaluable, and I thank you so much. Next, I'll go Ashley. Love you. That's my therapist and my bestie. I wouldn't have got through these past 4 years without you, and you mean the world to me, and I can't wait for our friendship to last forever. Probably most importantly, you gals, thank you for allowing me to have a shoulder to cry on and ear to speak to. You guys are truly my besties. You make showing up here every single day worthwhile. This has been a roller coaster of a season, but I wouldn't want to be alongside another 12 girls, including Ella in the crowd. I want to give a special shout out to my freshies, Mal, Bree, Callie, and Peyton. Our freshman year, as I said, was a rocky one, and you guys have such a special place in my heart because I truly don't think I'll be stood on this court still in this program if it wasn't for you guys. These will be aunties to my kids, bridesmaids at my wedding, so our friendships will last forever. Next, my family, all the way from England. Thank you for always being a phone call away. A few days I wanted to quit and give up, but my dad convinced me to stay, and look where it got me. So thanks for doing that. I want to give a shout out to my auntie, She had a fear of flying and hadn't flown for the past 10 years. She hates me right now. And she just flew 12 hours to come here to be on this day. So that's so special to me. My brother, my sister, Alice, Lawrence, love you guys. You inspire me every day to keep going when times are tough. And lastly, I want to thank my boyfriend. He's not here, he's playing right now. But he's been my rock for the past 4 years, and love you. Go Zags.
Hi guys. I just like to say thank you to all the fans for the past 5 years here. Thanks to my teammates, present and past. You guys have made this experience all worth it, and I think I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for all of you. Thank you to my coaching staff. You guys are the best. I love you guys so much. You put up with me every single day, and I really appreciate it. And all the people who work behind the scenes as well, especially right now, Houston, Sevi, Haley, Michaela, Amari, all you guys working super hard. I really appreciate it. I'd also like to thank my professors here at Gonzaga for making this an amazing experience for me. No, it's okay. And then again, to like the band and the cheer team, you guys make this place amazing. Thank you so much. To all my family here and back home and all around the world, just thank you to you guys for all your support, coming and showing up for me every single day. And then just a big shout out to my older brother, Kenny. Just an inspiration to me and my family. He worked really hard while he was here on Earth, and I'm just grateful to continue on the legacy and wear my last name on my back for him, whether it's in a Gonzaga jersey or a Canada jersey. I'm super, super grateful for him and everything he's done. But yeah, I just want to shout out him and thank you, Gonzaga fans, so, so, so much for making this the best 5 years of my life. You want it next? Do you want it next? Too bad.
Hi. I just want to thank everyone for showing up every day when we have a game, and it's pretty awesome to play in front of this crowd every time we come out here, and yeah. And it's pretty intimidating to come into, I bet, so that's super awesome. I think the thank yous are all around already, but our practice guys, some of them are sitting up here in front. They come to practice every day with us and try to give us buckets, but I don't really know if they do. We have an older practice guy here too, so it's just like a family around here, and we appreciate you guys so much. Huge thank you to my parents. They're here from Michigan. Yeah. They have given me everything I could have wanted in this world, and I appreciate you guys so much, so thank you. And my teammates, I absolutely adore you guys so much. And to the other, non-seniors, you guys are so special, and I'm so excited to watch you guys play next year and everything. But it's just super special for me. Last year, I didn't know if I was going to get to play basketball ever again. And today, I started on my senior night. So yeah, I just appreciate everyone so much and your continued support. And I know it's been rocky, but appreciate you sticking with me. So thank you.
Hey guys, so as you all know, for the last 4 years before this, I was sitting on that side, losing by 40 points, and I came in here, and I had goosebumps every time I came and played this game because the Spokane community and the support that you all have for women's basketball is out of this world. And you know, yeah, that's nice. It took me 4 years to make the jump, and I finally did, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. I feel so honored that Coach Lisa and the staff took a big leap of faith in me. I mean, Lisa, what you fought this year, you've showed to us that we can all get through anything and the adversity. The staff, the support you guys have had for me, thank you. All the training staff, the practice players, the band, the cheer team, everyone. It's just such a great community to be a part of. My dad and Jackie came over from New Zealand. I love you guys. I have some family that are back home that couldn't make it. My mum was here with me today too. I'm very grateful for her. Yeah. And my teammates, you girls are going to be best friends for life, seniors. Thanks for letting me jump on for the last year. You guys have made this year so special. And then the rest of my teammates, you guys are going to go so far the next 4 years. You better win the WCC. You got to beat the Gales without me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me, and I've had a blessing. So thank you.
I did not plan on being last. But I want to thank this coaching staff for getting me here in this special place and for showing up every day. When I came here, I wanted to become the best player I could be, and I think you guys hold your promise to that, so thank you very much. To my teammates, I love you guys so much. Thank you for becoming my home away from home. All the former Zags that have been here, future Zags. It's just going to be a big community. Thank you so much. I don't have, I can't express my words, so thanks. Thank you to my family. They're here from the Netherlands. When I hopped on that plane when I was 17, I didn't think it would let me here. You've been there every step of the way. Thank you for picking up the phone in the middle of the night when I was crying. Thank you for supporting me through everything, the highs and the lows. There have been a lot of lows. But thank you so much. Then I want to thank this community, everyone behind the scenes, the security guards, the practice players, everyone on our staff, everyone that's showing up every single day, doing their work to be there for us. You guys fans, thank you for showing up every single day. You guys make this such an incredible special place to play in, and I know tonight is not the way we wanted it to go. But I know we have a lot of the rest of the season yet, so with that being said, please keep supporting us. Please keep supporting all the future Zags that will come here. We're forever grateful. Thank you very much. You can go home now.
Really special couple of minutes there back in the McCarthy Athletic Center.
Let's give it up one more time for your Gonzaga.
70-68 the final score as USF holds on to win a close, tight one with the Bulldogs, and that does now really change things up in the West Coast Conference standings. Take a look. Gonzaga came into this day one whole game ahead of the University of Portland. The Pilots now only a half game back. If they beat Santa Clara tonight, John, we have a tie for first.
Yeah, and they're playing for the conference championship in the regular season. What's interesting is you look further down, you start to think a couple weeks ahead toward the conference tournament. It's not one of those years where there's really good top and really bad bottom that you don't want to be matched up with the 3 instead of the 4. I mean, everybody can win in this conference.
Yep.
And so you want the top seed. The big thing is to get the top 1 and 2 and get the bye. And if you got that, that's the big thing that you wanted to clinch. So there's still a lot to play for, and it's all about peaking at the right time of the year.
Pacific and Santa Clara await, and then it's Vegas, baby. It has been a pleasure being with you from the McCarthy Athletic Center all year. The final score tonight, 70-68. For the great John Billings and the rest of our remarkable ESPN Plus broadcast crew, helmed by the great Stephen Carr, Gonzaga class of 2015. I am merely Greg Talbot saying thank you so much for being with us so long. You get back to this TV at 5 o'clock to watch the men take on top 25 St. Mary's. We're not going anywhere. It's a great night in Zagville, and we'll see you next time.